Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Kylie, and today, as you saw by the thumbnail, I will be sharing with you a ton of brand new movies that I got for my collection, most of them being horror movies. So let me just show you what I have going on here, because that's just not even, that's like half the stack. Hold on. This is so precarious. So I'm gonna be sharing with you guys, I think like 30 movies today that I've purchased recently. Okay, you know what? This is stressing me out. We're gonna dismantle this tower. Just put it back here. So at this point, I think I have like almost 300 movies, and if you haven't seen my other collection videos that I posted when I was like just starting out my channel, I recommend watching those. They might be kind of weird because I was still camera shy, you know, I'm shy. My personality and the video style is pretty different, but whatever. But like I mentioned in those videos, I love having physical media. I love having physical copies of the movies because it's just so much more satisfying to me than having like a collection on streaming. There's nothing wrong with just having them on streaming. I just love having physical copies because I love the artwork of them. I love having them on display in my room. And I also just love the fact that I can watch them whenever I want and I don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to be free on a certain streaming service or whatever. So yeah, just several reasons why I collect them, and also because oftentimes you can find so many good movies in thrift stores. Like I literally thrifted all of these. I didn't buy any of these new. And I always highly encourage thrifting because it's just a lot more ethical. But anyways, I'm gonna start getting into my new collection here. And I think I'm gonna like break it into stacks of like where I got each one, and I'll just kind of tell you guys the stories of how I found each one. So let's begin. So I'm gonna start with what I got on Depop, and actually while we're on that topic, I got this shirt on Depop too. I'm a Camp Crystal Lake counselor. Obsessed. But before I get into these real quick, I also ordered the Blair Witch Project, and they didn't ship it until like 10 days after I ordered it, which was really weird because normally people on Depop ship things super quickly. I literally got this 3 days after I ordered it, and she put in like this really cute little letter and this little note. Hold on. There's a little letter, and then oop, just, you know, like thanking me for shopping in her closet and whatever. And then this really cute sticker. I've never seen this before. Oh, focus, please. 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 Jurassic Punk. I've never seen this, but I love it. This is such a cute sticker. So shopping secondhand on Depop or like Poshmark is always such a good way to get like good used clothing and good used movies and stuff. It's also a lot more sustainable in terms of the environment and stuff, which is really cool, and it's a lot more personal. So the Blair Witch Project is new. That's coming. It just shipped the other day, but it didn't come in time for this video, but whatever. I have like 30 movies to talk about. So I talked about this in my video on last Friday. It is my VHS copy of The Ring. I just had to have this. I think I got this for like $7 on Depop because like most people don't really want their VHS tapes anymore, but if you're a collector, you can get a lot of really good cheap movies on Depop. Up next, all 4 of these came from the same person. I'll put her her name on the screen because I can't remember what it is, but she does a special deal where if you buy 3 DVDs from her, you get 1 for free. And so I bought oh wait, this one's not, hold on. I'm gonna mess up that pile so much, whatever. Okay, so these 4 are from the same account. I bought Inception, 7, and Final Destination, and then I asked for this one for free because this one is actually one I've never heard of. It's called Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage. I think it's more of a thriller, but it also stars Rose Byrne, and it's just really interesting. Nicolas Cage stars as John Kostler, a professor who deciphers a coded message with terrifyingly accurate predictions about every major world disaster. Looking to protect his family and prevent future calamities, he enlists the reluctant help of Diana Wayland, daughter of the now deceased author of the prophecies. His quest to understand the messages and his own family's involvement in them becomes a heart-pounding race against time as he faces the ultimate disaster. I don't know, it sounded really cool. And even though I'd never heard of it, I wanted to get it because I'm gonna be starting a new series that's hopefully like monthly on my channel where I thrift movies that I've never heard of before and then I review them. So I had never heard of this one before, but then in a video probably coming in the next couple of weeks, I will review it along with a couple others that I thrifted that I'd never heard of before, and hopefully I'll be able to find some like underrated gems that way. I bought Inception because I love this movie so much conceptually, and I love the cast, just a good movie. I bought 7 because Sarah Hawkinson again recommended this movie. I had never heard of it previously before her recommending it, but it stars Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and it's also about a serial killer that follows like the 7 deadly sins, so sounded really interesting. I think it's from the 90s, and I'm not super familiar with a lot of 90s horror, so I wanted to check it out. And then finally I got Final Destination, the first one, which I'm just so happy about. I love the Final Destination movies. I've seen the first 4, and then I'm gonna watch the 5th one soon because I purchased that one as well. But like I mentioned, how much I love having DVD copies is like you just don't get to have special stuff like this and this artwork with streaming, and like you can physically hold it in your hands and look at it and check it out, which I don't know, call me old-fashioned or whatever. And then the last thing I got from Depop is a copy of Scream, and I think I got this for only like $4, you guys. Just a classic, and I really want to start building my collections of different franchises. All of these and the Blair Witch Project all came from Depop. So I'm going to talk about these three before I get into the rest of these, because the rest of them I thrifted on different occasions, so I'll get into all of that, but first I'm going to talk about these. So this is Arrival. This is one that my dad actually bought for me. I love this movie so much. And then this collection of the first 7 Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you guys already know that I had that. I got this on Amazon. And then if you saw my PR unboxing video, you saw that I got a copy of Never Hike Alone, which is my favorite Friday the 13th movie, which also happens to be a fan-made film. So if you follow me on Instagram or on my vlog channel, you know that I recently went to Tahoe, and we went to a thrift store that was really close to our Airbnb, and so I got the Collector, which I had never seen. I think I had heard of it before I went to the thrift store, so I won't do this in my reviewing thrifted movies I'd never heard of before. I won't do that, but I still need to watch this one, which I've heard is really good. And then they also had seasons 1 and 3 of The Office, which I just had to get. It was really random, only having like the 1st and 3rd season, but they are taking The Office off of Netflix after this year, which is kind of a bummer. So I want to have them on DVD. I'll eventually like track down the other seasons, but it's not like a huge goal of mine. But I found these for like $2 each, so all of these were only $2, so I got these for $6, which I think originally would have been a lot more expensive to get a full season on DVD. On the topic of The Office, hold on. So I was thrifting the other day and I got like 9 movies from Salvation Army, including this, which is season 2 of The Office. But then when I opened it up when I got home, it was empty. And I always check DVDs at thrift stores to make sure they're not scratched or whatever, and sometimes they're stolen. And for whatever reason, during that trip, I just didn't check any of the movies that I bought. I was on a thrifting spree. I could not be stopped. But I did only pay $1.99 for this, so I'm not like gonna be up in arms about it. I'm not gonna try to get my money back. It's whatever, but I'm just mad because I thought it was so perfect that I found seasons 1 and 3 in Tahoe, and then when I came back to SoCal, I found season 2. I was like, what? And then they weren't in there. Moving on. Okay, so last week I went to 2 different Goodwills on the same day because there's 2 in my town. And from the first one, I got this lovely stack of goodies right here. So this book is called The Monster Book of Zombies. It's a collection of short stories about zombies, but it's really cool because it's a collection of like some of the most famous short stories about zombies like in history. So some of them are from like the 50s, the 70s, etc., stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And then as for the movies, you guys. Okay, so Zoolander I actually bought on accident because I pulled it out and I showed it to my boyfriend and I was like, oh my god, remember Zoolander? How crazy dumb this movie was? And then I accidentally left it in my hand when I was pulling out the other movies, and then when I went to buy them, I just put them all down and I forgot this was in my hand, and then I bought it, so I own Zoolander now. Not a bad movie, pretty funny, it's just aged really poorly. Donald Trump actually makes a cameo in it, which I completely forgot. I got 3 amazing Blu-rays there for $5 each. I got the 50th anniversary edition of Psycho, which is awesome. I really wanted to own Psycho. I got a Blu-ray of the original Halloween from 1978, money. And I got Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left, which I've never seen before, but it is a classic of Wes Craven's, so I wanted to see it, and it was only $5. Hi, I'm editing and I just realized I actually got the 2009 version. Oops. Also, this Psycho one is still in its plastic packaging. Like, it's never been opened. It's a brand new 50th edition Blu-ray. I got it for $5. And then I also got M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, which I have heard is like kind of a controversial movie in terms of whether you love it or you hate it, so I wanted to figure that out for myself. And then finally, I got this super cool deluxe edition of Friday the 13th Part 7 in the New Blood, which I hope you can see this, but it has this really cool like shifty vibe to it with Jason there. This outer casing is a little bit beat up, but then this is still in its plastic. So it's like brand new. I'm really pumped. I don't have any of the other Friday the 13th movies except for Never Hike Alone, but oh well, I'll start my collection now. Plus, I just couldn't pass up on this. Okay, so this is all from the first Goodwill. On to the second one. Okay, so from Goodwill number 2, I got all these bad boys. So Zathura and Freaky Friday are just excellent movies from my childhood. I recently watched Zathura again. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this. I loved this movie so much when I was a kid. I can't even tell you how many many times I watched it. And my like Disney princess phase was super short because I very quickly moved on to The Corpse Bride, Zathura, like Treasure Planet, just very offbeat adventure type movies or horror type movies. So this was a very big part of my childhood. Also has an extremely young Josh Hutcherson and an extremely young Kristen Stewart, which you love to see it. So like I said, I just rewatched it and it's still a lot of fun. And then Freaky Friday I'm planning on watching very soon. I haven't seen this movie probably in like 10 years, probably more than that actually. But I can't wait. Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, just amazing. I also got Scream 4. I got this nice sleeved edition. And I can't wait to find 2 and 3 as well. I'm hoping I'll find those in thrift stores soon too, so I'll have a complete collection for when part 5 comes out, because then I can do a full marathon of it before the 5th one comes out in 2022? Yeah. And then finally, I got the first 5 Saw movies. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel about these, but I am planning on doing a Saw franchise series on my channel in the future. Right now I'm focusing on the 80s decade, and then from the 90s, I'm not totally sure what all is there. I'll definitely do the Scream franchise, and then I'll work my way up to the early 2000s, which will include Saw. This one has an uncut edition in there. This one is just the normal Saw 2. Saw 3, this one has the unrated edition in there. This is the director's cut of Saw 4. This is an unrated director's cut of Saw 5. So I don't know how different they are to the theatrical ones, but just let me know right now if these are the ones that I should watch for my series. I think they're gonna be, just because like I have them available to me. I paid 50 cents each for all of these, so. But just let me know if any of these are like glaringly different from the theatrical versions, and then I will review the theatrical versions because I feel like that's probably what most people have seen. But that is the stack from the second Goodwill. Oh, okay, now finally, this is a stack that I got from Salvation Army just a couple of days ago. So I'll start out with the fact that I found Final Destination 2 and the Final Destination there. Kind of just perfect that I bought the first Final Destination on Depop, and then I found Final Destination 2 at a thrift store, and then the last one, obviously. And then all I need to find is Final Destination 3, and then I have a complete set because we ignore part 4 here. So I was super pumped to find these. And then I also picked up 2 special edition copies of Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse because one of my subscribers really loves this series, and so this is definitely going to also be another series on my channel reviewing all the Resident Evil movies. So I'm looking forward to that. These also have a ton of special features on them, so it's very exciting. This is a comedy, not a horror. It's called I Love You Man, but it stars Rashida Jones, Paul Rudd, and Jason Segel, so it's just a really good recipe. It's an amazing movie. It's from 2009, and the romance is actually the bromance between Paul Rudd and Jason Segel's characters, so it's like not a traditional rom-com, but it follows the exact same formula. It's hilarious. Anyways, okay, on to more horror. Okay, moving on to The Last Exorcism. So I've heard of this before. All I've heard is that it's really good. Haven't really heard anything else about it. Gonna make my own opinion about it. Up next, we have The Ring 2. Now, this is not a good movie, really. I probably won't rewatch it that much, but it is an unrated edition, so that's cool. I just love The Ring, as you know if you've been here before. And now I have every single American version of The Ring movies, so I have The Ring on DVD and VHS, I have The Ring 2, and I have Rings. My next goal will be to get all the Japanese versions of The Ring movies. And finally, this is called Midnight Horror Show. I had never heard of this before, but it was $1.99. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. And this was actually the one that inspired me to start that new series reviewing movies that I'd never heard of before that I found at thrift stores. So for Midnight Horror Show, they say, prepare for a unique concoction of murder and mayhem as we take to the stage with the Moreau family, a band of twisted misfits who travel around the countryside performing a variety act for unsuspecting audiences. But behind the curtain, there is something more sinister going on than pure entertainment. Leave your inhibitions at the door and open your mind to an experience unlike any other as you witness one of the most bizarre crime sprees in British history. As the twisted family unleashes their surreal brand of carnage, a vengeful hitman is hot on their trail, determined to bring their show to a close. Dare you enter the theater of fear? Might be really dumb, but might be an underrated gem, so we shall find out. So that was a lot. Let me just like put my stack back together really quick. Okay, so those are all my new movies and book. So altogether that is 38 new movies because we are counting these 7 in A Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh wait, actually 39 if you're including the Blair Witch Project. That's just not here yet. 2 new TV shows, and 1 new book. I really can't guarantee that my hauls will be this big every time. I kind of just hit the jackpot in every single thrift store that I went into, but I hope that you enjoyed. I really encourage you guys to start thrifting more and shopping a little bit more sustainably, and especially like when you're buying new movies. But that's about it. I hope that you guys tune in when I review those new movies that I found that I've never heard of before. They sound really interesting. As always, if you want to follow me on social media, my Letterboxd and my Instagram and Twitter are all at KaiJohns, and my Letterboxd is where I talk about movies that I don't intend on reviewing on this channel. And then my Instagram is where I just share like what's going on. I shared when I went thrift shopping and my new movie stacks and stuff like that. I also share with you guys whatever I'm going to be watching that night or what I'm currently watching, so you guys can watch it too, just in case I do a review of it soon. Again, please check out those sources, petitions, GoFundMe's links down below. I update those every single week. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye!